In the darkest nights, we find our light. Battered souls, but we won't lose sight. Surviving together, never alone. Through every trial, we carry on. Surviving together, never alone. Through every trial, we carry on. Surviving together, we stand strong. United forever. Strength and courage will overcome. Oh, surviving together, victorious, never, never alone. Hand in hand, we'll face the unknown.
We see you, we hear you, and we believe you. Hey, everyone. How you doing today? Sorry I'm without my additional light. I was trying to see how much light I'd have coming in from my window because I've been able to open my window, but it doesn't look like the angle stayed. So it looks like I'm going to have to set up my other artificial light. So welcome, you guys. It's Saturday. It is, I don't know what to call today because we haven't decided quite on a name, but you've landed at Surviving Together. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here with us today. This is a safe space for trauma survivors to connect, build community on their healing journey, as well as providing trauma-related education for all. Today, we had kind of decided was going to be our time just to chit-chat. No particular goal in mind. I wasn't going to have a presentation that I was going to bring, but we were going to be reaching out, seeing who's out there, seeing if you guys have anything to talk about. Got a couple of topics, just to throw out if the chat is small or if people aren't feeling like sharing so that we can have something. But I do want to throw this up first off, and I'll probably leave it on for the entire show. If it gets really annoying, let me know because it's the first time I'm doing this. Look at that. I created my first poll on StreamYard, guys. I'm like thrilled. So, hey, Crystal, how you doing? I sent you an email earlier today. I hope you got it. For those of you guys who don't know or who are wondering, Crystal did have her medical procedure on Monday, and it did go extremely well. She seems to be healing just fine. Everything's in order. It looks good, no infections, and she's feeling pretty good, right? Crystal, your emotions are feeling pretty good about your decision to have the procedure done and how you've been feeling afterwards, right? So whatever you want to share, share. Oh, great. I'm so glad you got my email. So guys, quick, the poll is what should we call today? And I will say, I know that we kind of had landed on last Saturday of the month. And fine with that. Yeah, I am. I got thinking more about, well, the next Saturday is going to be Laugh Saturday, and we're going to kind of have these Saturdays back to back. So I kind of been thinking maybe about moving it to the middle of the month. But then again, kind of the whole point was to maybe do a little bit of a month in review, wrap up, just kind of see how everyone's doing, just at the end of the month. So for now, I'm leaving it there. We needed a name. And we've had several that have been thrown out there. And these are the ones that I've seen so far. If you guys have had a suggestion and it's not up, let me know. I'm happy to throw it up. Excuse me. So we have SASSC Saturday because we've got Laugh Saturday, right? So SASSC Saturday, and it's our capitals. So SAS and the C for the community, the SAS community Saturday. Sassy Chat, Survivor Chat, or Sassy Time. We had also had Sassy Chat Time, So, I mean, if you've got one that you like, but you wanna see it a little bit different, throw out your suggestions. Love to see it. So I'm gonna leave that up there. It's pretty small. I think you just put 1, 2, 3, or 4 in terms of your vote, and you can, if you're watching on replay, go ahead and put it in the comments because I'll still know what it is. If you're live in the chat anytime during the stream, you can just throw it in the chat. And then because this is my first one on StreamYard, I don't know if it's going to, once somebody votes, if it's going to update it like on the screen and show percentage or anything like that. We'll see. So this is as new for me as it is for you, but I figured it out and I'm pretty damn proud of myself for that. So yeah, it's for me, it's been a pretty good few days. Yesterday was a real good day. I had court in the morning and I rocked it, I gotta say. Um, I was sent in with a goal and I met my goal, and I was pretty darn proud about that. Uh, and then I did some work remote. I did my first focus group. I've never done a focus group before. So I did my first focus group. It was like 90 minutes and got paid a little bit for that. So I mean, I was home anyway, so might as well use my time for something, right? And who knows, maybe there'll be more of those types of things. As long as it's not during the day, I can fit them in. My schedule's going to get a lot less flexible coming up. And I understand it. And maybe after a few weeks or a month, it might get a little bit more flexible on an individual level. I don't know. I know that they've got so many new lawyers that they're bringing on for this project that they've just got to kind of be able to keep a handle on everybody, right? So just setting the same hours and say, okay, this is when you're working. So then we can find you. We know what you should be doing, and we're not having to, wonder, are you still putting in hours in today? So I get it, but it's going to be a big change for me. See, I'm gonna throw your thing up and see how this goes. Oh, isn't that special? So, the poll went away, and I'm sure it'll come back then once I hide Crystal's comment again. But she's emotions okay. Still glad I got it done. That's awesome. Thankful when the drains come out. Yeah, I would imagine. Better able to move. Uh, absolutely. Um, and I know you said you think you got maybe like another week ish of that. So yeah, I'll be happy for you when you can do that as well. But um, I'm glad that you are at Kim's and safe, and you've got somebody who's kind of been with you during these steps. And that's just awesome. So I'm thrilled that that all came together for you. So yeah, I'm kind of getting nervous about myself about something new than my job starting Monday. So we'll kind of see what's going on with that. I did I came across this statement, or this, I guess it was a phrase you would call it. I was listening to an AI story, just silly stuff, just to listen to as I was, instead of music, as I was cleaning, right? And I found this really interesting phrase, and it said, "Running away from responsibility isn't freedom; it's prison." And it really, really struck me. And this was when it was Wednesday, I remember, because I was gonna talk about it, but then, we had a guest, and so it didn't really fit well, and I was gonna do a separate live on it, and I thought, "Nah, it's not really something I should do a whole 'nother live on," but, uh, so I saved it for today. And I think for a lot of us who either isolate, or paralysis is a trauma effect of ours, I really, thought about that, and running away isn't freedom. And our body protects ourselves, right? And the thing about it is it's involuntary running in a way. I mean, I think there's a certain point where we do have some choice in what's going on, in terms of using negative versus positive coping mechanisms, not regulating ourselves, but that's all assuming you have those at your disposal, right? And a lot of people who just haven't even learned that yet, learned any of the positive coping skills. And I thought about that and I thought, it is so true because being isolated and feeling like you have to isolate yourself for total, separateness. Hey, Carmel. Gosh, no worries. Glad you're here. Paralysis or that type of isolation, it is its own prison. And especially when, if any of you guys have suffered, paralysis, the total lack of motivation, it's more severe than just lack of motivation. It prevents you from doing anything. But even just, the severe lack of motivation and not being able to get things done, the more and more things that you don't do, the more things pile up. And then that overwhelmingness it's just a repeating cycle and it's vicious and it is so much of its own prison. And if meeting our responsibilities then, if running towards our responsibilities is freedom. And I think about that when I start to come out of my paralysis and I'm feeling better and I'm getting things done again. And just that sense of accomplishment and then the increase in confidence. Yeah. So I don't know why that phrasing just really hit me. And I think it probably because of what I was going through on Wednesday. I had been thinking a lot. I had really not done a lot for a few days. And I was telling myself it was because I was giving myself grace. I knew next week was going to be crazy, starting the job, and I was just giving myself grace. And then there's that little voice inside you that says, are you? Are you really? Or are you just being lazy? And so then I have to look at it and say, okay, am I truly giving myself grace? Or am I just being lazy? Or am I paralyzed or have a lack of motivation for some reason? And I gotta tell you, I tend to deal with individual thoughts kind of as they come up, and I think about them, and I move on. And when I'm overwhelmed, I can't think about any one thought. It's just all of it washing over me, right? So this kind of thinking of going, is it this or is it this or is it this? And what I f- I- am and what I f- blah, am what I am feeling is what I am feeling, because start with the right word and first off, is what I'm feeling something that is a trauma effect? And I've analyzed my trauma effects before, but I don't tend to look at my more average, normal, everyday behavior and see, is it a trauma effect? Is this what I'm reacting to unknowingly? Because it's just part of me and part of who I am. And I am discovering through these chats with myself, because that's very much what they are. Um, yeah, there are a lot of things that I do that I now can trace back to my childhood, right? How I do things or what situation it's applied to is different now. but in terms of my learned behavior, it's, that's where it comes from. So I've had a lot of eye-opening feelings and thoughts in the last couple weeks. It's been very strange. March has definitely been that precursor to spring month for me in terms of my internal feelings and kind of how I'm feeling about things. So we'll see. Wednesday is April 1st. I am not going to do, because we're doing this show and then next Saturday is last Saturday, I will not be doing an April Fool's Day show on April Fool's Day. Okay. Just to let you guys know, I've got three different topics I'm rotating between, trying to decide which one for Wednesday. So tune in. It'll either be human trafficking 101 or there's another case from Scotland that I want to cover. It's a CSAM's case that I want to talk to you guys about. So, Carmel, I hope you are doing well. I hope things have been pretty boring since you've been home. To be quite honest, you've had enough excitement the last few years to last you quite a while. So, hope you're hope you're doing well. I hope you're calm. Um, Anybody hear about the Meta trial and the jury verdict that was brought against Meta and Google? So that came down this week. I did not follow the trial, so what I know is what I'm just piecing together from reports. I find it interesting. TikTok and Snapchat uh, settled, and so we do not know the settlement terms. They have not been released. So I have no idea what happened there. Excuse me. But so a woman, alleged that she had been uh, become addicted to social media and that the platforms she had named, at least that I know of, Meta, Google, TikTok, and Snapchat, and that she became addicted to it, became really depressed, that she had developed body dysmorphia, and a whole host of issues, right? And she withdrew from her family. She was just on social media. Um, and Meta and Google, apparently their side argued more that no, her social media usage exacerbated her already poor mental health status. We didn't cause her mental health to go from fine to poor. So that was basically their argument. And the jury found in favor of um, in favor of the plaintiffs, which pretty amazing. I mean, it really is a landmark case of finding a companies liable for social media addiction. You know, it used to be people really laughed at any of the cases where people brought a case where they said, I'm addicted to this and this is your fault. And they'd be like, no, it's your fault. You're the one who was doing it. You could choose to stop or whatever. Well, then the cigarette companies got held, accountable, right? And some more businesses started, some ingredients that are used in fast food, um, that that is an addictive type substance. And so I know that there's been settlements and I don't know if there's been jury awards. I'm sure there has been. Um, hey Brian, how you doing? It's good to see you. How's Adam doing? Glad you guys are well. Well, I'm hoping you're well. I shouldn't, you haven't said you're well, so I suppose I shouldn't say it. She was awarded $6 million. Yes, I do believe that is correct. I have the thing pulled up here. Yep, $6 million in damages. So I don't know. What does everyone think about it? Do you think that social media, just as a general question, can or should be held liable for people becoming addicted to it? Um, they certainly make their algorithms so that they want to keep you entertained as long as possible. I really don't think anybody is doubting that social media addiction is real, right? Um, Particularly when we're talking about kids, though, I do believe businesses have a social responsibility, right? I understand they're there to make money. They make money the more you watch, the more you use. But I do think you have a social responsibility. You are part of the fabric of the world. And as hopefully decent human beings at our core, right? But when we're talking about corporate America, that it doesn't necessarily always line up, right? I don't know. What about the parental aspect? She says she started using social media when she was 6, and she was using Instagram by the time she was 9. Crystal says, no, they shouldn't be held accountable. We all have a choice. Every addiction starts with the person who becomes addicted. When you're talking about kids, especially, I have a difficult time not putting a lot of responsibility on the parents. However, I understand that that's a situation where you as a parent are in a position to be able to affect the amount that that person is on their phone or is on the computer. You may be a single parent who works 16-hour days, or you work nights so that you can be there at dinner and breakfast. But there's a lot of time there then that, your kid may be left, assuming they're old enough, um, to their own devices or with a babysitter, childcare. And so I really understand that there are certainly situations where you may want to parent much better than you're able, right? You're just not able to be there. So that, my empathy, of course, goes out to them. Kamal says, I think adults have a responsibility to be able to regulate themselves. And it's interesting because they brought these cases as kids. It was all about use, okay? It was about use and the use addiction and what's been done to young people. And I do wonder, I wonder if an adult had brought a similar type case, or a group of adults had bought similar type case, that it would be, um, that if it would have been successful. Hey, Brian, take care. Stay warm. I don't know about you guys, but we got sunshine today. So if you don't have it today, you should have it tomorrow. Say hi to Adam for me. So that was just a topic to bring up, something that was in the news recently. The other big thing that was in the news is the jury verdict that came in on Bill Cosby's recent civil trial. He's had many, so that's why I say recent civil trial. And she won. The jury found that Bill Cosby had accosted her, had drugged her, had accosted her, and she was awarded $59 million. So that was uh, that was huge that came back. I was trying to read more on it, and it seems like every newspaper I went to, they're like, "You've used up your free readings. You need to purchase subscription in order to read. I'm like, I don't want to purchase a subscription just to read this. I just want to know what happened. So, in case you don't know, I just was able to pull up an article from the LA Times. Um, that this is a former waitress who alleged that in 1972, after escorting her to one of his shows, she was drugged and sexually assaulted. Let's see. He said it gave her wine and a pill that left her unable to move. This is kind of his MO, at least according to his previous filings that have been made against him in both in civil and criminal court. And he then assaulted her. Um, so the next thing that she knew, she was being loaded into a limousine by a couple of men, and then she woke up in her house in her underwear. God, man, you couldn't at least give her her clothes back? Jeez, oh, Pete's. So, 2014, Cosby was found liable in a civil suit that was brought by a woman who said that he sexually assaulted her in the Los Angeles Playboy Mansion in 1975 when she was 16. She was awarded $500,000 in 2022. Oh, I forgot that he's out of prison. How long did he spend in prison? Does anybody know? Ah, Carmel, you're just asking my thing. I No, it looks like he's out because it looks like he got out in about 2021 because it says the $500,000 verdict came down in 2022, about a year after Cosby was released from a Pennsylvania prison. So no, he's out. Wonder how long he spent in prison. Yeah, guys, I gotta know. I gotta know how long. Oh, 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 that's right. His criminal case, he served just over 3 years. He was in prison from September 2018 to June of 2021. He was sentenced 3 to 10 years for sexual assault. And I got to imagine that's because of what the guidelines were at the time of the sexual assault, because he was being tried in the 2000s, 2010s, and the crimes had occurred in the 70s. but his conviction was overturned by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, basically on it was a procedural issue. So yeah, he's been out after his sentence was overturned. But he has had several civil convictions. Not long, no, not nearly long enough. And that's why I'd be interested to see what his guidelines would have been had it been current day, right? I would have been interested to know. He didn't have a criminal record though, so that really, when you're talking about looking at guidelines, your prior record can really increase your sentence dramatically. And the fact that he didn't have one, I'm sure helped him a lot. But I think he would have stayed in jail longer, even though he was sentenced from 3 to 10. I think he would have been sentenced to longer if he had not been, if his conviction hadn't been overturned. So, Fubar, that really, really sucks. Sorry, guys, I just had to check my phone was buzzing at me, and I don't know why. Okay. So, what else is going on? Anybody hear from Geaudrey lately? I know she's been here occasionally, um, but not real regular. And I just want to make sure that she's doing okay. Um, let's send hugs and love out to everybody who needs them. Threes or hugs and love, prayers, good juju, warm fuzzies, whatever you want to send out. We'll send them to Crystal, Carmel. I'm sending them to you just in hopes that you stay in good health. Let's send them to Jimena and anybody else who Misha. She's been through a lot this past month, well, more than the past month. Um, just everybody who needs them. I'm glad you guys joined me today, and it's 333 right now. Oh, a couple weeks ago, she said she was going to visit South Africa for a week or so. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. I just don't remember exactly which week she was supposed to go. Just like I got the trial dates of for Misha wrong. I thought they were the following week when they were happening that week. It tells you, and I apologize to her directly that I got so in my head that even when I was reading stuff and people were posting, my brain was still telling me, oh, okay, next week. Yeah, I just didn't put all of that together. But spring is on the way, guys. We have a lot of nothing scheduled right now. I gotta be honest with you. No, I have like 2 or 3 shows with a guest who was previously scheduled. I have shows that I need to reschedule that got canceled, and I have new people I need to reach out to. I have been not doing a whole lot of that, and the reason being is that I have been, from the time that I kind of made all that decision and pulled back, I have been prioritizing myself and my environment here. And I decided that were things around me that needed to get done, that I had to put my focus into before I really wanted to get them done before the job started. Not going to happen, but I'll show you just a little bit. I'm going to take this poll down for a second. So I'll show you a little bit. So here is all the linens from the closet that are my sons that he didn't want, and I'm trying to decide what to do with them. Um, I've there's the closet. You still got, or no, that's over by the door. So still got stuff stuck there that I've got. It looks like this bookcase is either going to get moved farther down the wall that way, or it might get moved back to this other wall because, and here I'm going to turn this around so you guys see, my hutch is right there and my window is right there. And I get ladybugs and other and stink bugs that kind of come in, and I have to pivot my desk 90 degrees. My son is not happy with me because this is oh, hey, speak of the devil. Hello, just got back home. Oh my gosh. How was your trip? That's awesome. So yeah, I need to, the biggest thing is I have a vent, and we really thought that this was going to, if I pivoted, it was going to cover the vent, but I think I'm in the clear by like 2 inches. Which, if that's the case, phew, because I really need to be able to access this window, to get breeze in, to clean for bugs, for, all kinds of things. And it's just too difficult reaching over my desk this way, um, trying to get in there in any sort of way. So yeah, I broke that news to my son today that we were going to have to try and pivot the desk. And I'm not sure if we're going to have to take it apart again in order to do that. I know he's not thrilled with me, but I really need it done. So anyway, totally exhausted. It was great to see my family. Oh, that is wonderful. I am so excited that you got a chance to get down there and to see everybody. Kermel's bound and determined to chain you to the minds of De Beers. I'm not quite sure why, but apparent apparently, just because you're from South Africa, you owe some debt to them. Um, that's why I think manufactured diamonds look just as nice as real diamonds, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I'll my parents, my mom has, right? She's got her own, well, she doesn't have a diamond. The only diamonds she has, she got from her mother. And she doesn't wear them. So I'll inherit them eventually, or one of them. One goes to my brother, and the other one will go to me. So I'll keep them. But yeah, I don't know that I'd buy new diamond these days. Not worth it. And I'm glad to see that more people are getting away from just diamond engagement rings and are doing other things. And, because growing up at the time I did, I mean, when I got married, I was marrying a Catholic. And so it was a big wedding. And it was the time of big poof sleeves. I mean, I had the train, the veil, and you registered for your china and your flatware and your goblets, and you had to send everything the right way. You put the envelope, you put the invitation in a small envelope, and then you put that envelope in a bigger envelope, and then that's where you put the name and address on. But apparently the inner envelope is supposed to have the person or person's name on it. So when they open it, they see, oh, this is to me, which, I mean, if you're putting the name and address on the front one, but that's what etiquette said. But guess what I didn't do? I didn't the name on the inside. But yeah, you're supposed to, get the paper and figure out your placements. Oh my God, if I had to do it over again. Yes. Oh yes, RSVP cards. And the people, I don't know, maybe it's just different families, but it was like pulling teeth to get the RSVPs out of some people in some branches of our family. It's like, guys, we don't care if you're not coming. Could you just tell us for sure, so that we can make plans? All that dumb wedding stuff, right? It just, I mean, I still have my china. Well, I still have most of my china. My ex sold some of it, I found out, but you know, yeah, I do so much difference. I think of all the money my parents spent for honestly a lovely day, but it is just one day in the grand scheme of things, right? And we had like a buffet style, and thankfully we had it at the grounds at one of the local colleges, and so a lot of the people who were with the catering staff worked for the college, so it was kind of like their work study, and so we just ended up giving the college students, leftover cake and leftover lasagna. I mean, pretty much anything that was left over. We didn't bring Tupperware. We weren't gonna try and haul it back home. So we gave it to all these starving kids. I hope that they were starving kids anyway. That's what I told myself in my brain to make myself feel better about it. Because you can't donate it to like food shelters or anything because it's already made. Just in Cape Town, getting people to RSVP to anything is like getting blood from a stone. We don't like to commit. People from the rest of South Africa call it the Cape Coma. That is funny. That is so weird. Just like this little geographical area, everybody is just commitment phobia, has commitment phobia. I mean, it was, I was dealing with a fractured family on the opposite side when I got married the first time. The parents had recently divorced and they weren't really speaking to each other. And my mother in law, she said she'd take care of the alcohol for the receptions. We did great. We kind of thought that meant that she'd take care of whatever went into getting the alcohol and then getting the alcohol to the place where we were going to be serving it and then actually getting it set up somehow so that it could actually be served and given to the people who wanted it. Um, she bought it and it was delivered and that was it. So my brother played bartender, which actually was perfect because my brother's not a real social, interactive type person. So for him to have a job where he, just could be there, uh, that worked out. But yeah, not as glamorous as I had thought that side of things was going to be. It just but you know what? Looking back at it, I mean, I don't think anybody could care less. I know that three-quarters of my family did not because they actually left our reception to go party at the hotel. But it was a section of the family that didn't see each other very often because they're spread out so far. And it was a section of my mother's family. So yeah, they invited us, which was really nice of them. But I kind of said I couldn't leave my own reception. Mom says, I went to the town hall, Justice of the Peace married you. And after that, we walked to a pub, to a party, and then had dinner in a restaurant, and that was it. That sounds great. My second marriage, I was actually working for a judge at the time. He married us, and then we went and picked up his daughter by his first marriage, and it was her weekend with us. We got married on a Friday, and then we just spent the weekend with her and, kind of told her the news and spent the weekend with her and got a tree because it was December. Got a Christmas tree, kind of did some Christmassy stuff, and yeah, a lot easier. A lot easier that time. Oh my gosh. I'm going to show you guys something from my phone, but I can't get it to stay up long enough, and I, c- I never know when it's going to come on my phone because it's one of those ads that interrupts you. And I'm trying to find it through the computer because it's really pretty funny. So, well, guys, guess what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the afternoon and tomorrow? I am going to be, ta-da, still working in this room. I have files galore that need to be gone through and moved. If I want my son's help with this room and getting my desk moved, I'm going to have to move some of it myself. So I'm going to see what I can do. I just can't mess up my system too much because I have to work tomorrow, right? So I gotta have it at least I don't think I can do it till next weekend. All right, files in the floor in the closet. We'll get that all squared away. I think I can manage that for the rest of the day. And then we'll see what tomorrow brings. Probably some channel work because I have been kind of avoiding that. My taxes. I gotta get my taxes done. I really meant to do that this week. Really, really, really did. I don't know if you guys can see. I actually got sunburned today, sitting outside. It because the sun was really bright. Oh, you guys are talking about rocks and stuff. I want to go. Well, I'd love to go to like the opal mines in Australia and stuff. Well, we have a few smaller ones here. We got some emerald mines and some diamond mines or fields and places where you can go pan gold and stuff. I would love to go do that kind of stuff. Who wants to do that this summer? I know in like Arkansas, Missouri, kind of down around in that area, there are a lot of gemstone places that you can do. I would absolutely love. I'd spend at least an entire day at one place, and probably only cover 20 square feet. I think that that would be so much fun. Maybe if I do that, I'd love to have somebody go with me. I'd love to like make that a friend trip. But if I didn't, if I just did it by myself, I would be passing through so many states that you guys are in or close to. That would be a pretty fun summer to do that, wouldn't it? But I do know I'm going to be working most of the summer. I would have to arrange time off to do that because this assignment is supposed to be 6 months plus. We'll just have to see. Could end sooner, could move later. We will, but that takes us to October. Actually, through October, yeah, April, up to. A little hard for you to do Arkansas. Ah, I mean, it's just like a 20-hour plane ride. Kermel, whenever I do my European tour, I'll make sure and hit you and DeAudrey. Definitely. We got some people in the UK too. So I know Joe Dahl is there and James Simpson and Wyatt and a bunch of other our friends are over there too. So that would be fun. I'm still dreaming I'm going to be coming into some money. I don't play the lottery. I don't I don't want my parents to pass away. I have no idea what would be coming to me, if anything, but I don't want to find out. Um, so I don't know where this feeling is. It's probably just hope. Hope wrapped up. Long flights. How long was the flight from South Africa to Ireland, Deidre? I'm not sure where you would have to, how many legs that would be. Seems like a pretty straight flight, but 12 hours. Okay. Yeah, I remember we went from JFK to Brussels and then Brussels to Nairobi. And when I went home, I don't remember where I flew. I think I flew through Brussels again, but I don't quite remember. I remember that I was traveling for 24 hours though before I got home. From the time I left Nairobi to the time I finally got home, it was 24. I'd been traveling for 24 hours. I really had not slept. I was pretty bad shape. I was so thankful that when I walked off the plane and walked through immigration in JFK, they just kind of, were spreading people this way, some went this way, some they were just saying go through the center. They just kind of, I went through the center and just walked through. Nobody inspected my bags, just got my things stamped, or I didn't have to get a stamp because I was coming home, right? So they didn't expect my bags going through. I just got to walk through, go find my gate to go to Detroit and then eventually to Grand Rapids. So 45 minutes on a bus. Ugh. There is nothing to me worse than having a bus leg when you've already been traveling for a really long time. That is just Krumel says you have to get me drunk on a plane these days. Fear of flying's gotten worse. 8 hours to New York was a hellish flight. I bet. I bet. I think my last overseas, my last international trip was Vancouver, of course. It was still only like a 4-hour flight if I take all the stops out. But glad you're home safe and sound. I'm glad it was a really good trip, DeAudrey. I hope you got a lot of pictures and a lot of memories, and I hope everybody was doing well. Oh, 3 hours on a train to Dublin, then an hour flight to London, and then 12 hours from London to Cape Town. Okay, from London to Cape Town was 12 hours, and the 45 minutes on a bus somewhere. Maybe once you got to Cape Town, 45 minutes on a bus to your parents. Wow. The longest flight that I have ever taken solid has got to be Detroit to Honolulu, and that was a 10-hour flight, and that was long. I have that was really, really long. I think JFK to Brussels was like 6 or 8 hours. It was a red-eye flight. It was overnight. It was longer than I expected it, than I really thought it would be, right? I had never been to Europe before. And so even though I'd seen places on a map, I hadn't really mapped out the geography of it. Um, so it took a lot longer to get to Brussels than I had expected. Well, guys, I will wrap this up for today. Let's let's do this again, right? Let's do this again, and hopefully, I will we'll decide on a name, and I'll get some promotion out so that people know that it's just kind of a chill day, and it's a day to come and relax and chat. And maybe we can draw more of our crowd back in for some of these conversations. Um, yeah, I hate getting searched. I hate getting searched. I I don't know if I told you, I got searched coming back from Vancouver, and they wanted to take my bottle of maple syrup because it was like too big because wasn't checking anything. And so it was too big of liquids in a carry-on. I'm like, it's sealed maple syrup, like with wax sealed maple syrup from the place. I have the receipt of the one that I bought it at. I mean, yeah, I know things can be faked and wax seals can be redone and everything. And I could have made it look like maple syrup, but it was actually a sticky adhesive that would burn acid that would burn through the cockpit. I have no idea. Uh Thankfully a supervisor was like, no, it's small enough. Just let her go. It was like a couple ounces more than I was supposed to have or something. But that was probably because you came from Amsterdam. That's why you got searched. Could be. I can imagine, especially at the time that you were coming over, right? The year in which you were coming over. Um, None of that was legal anywhere here, I think. Crystal's going for a nap. That sounds good too. Rest up, and I hope to hear from you on Wednesday, and yeah, just see how you're doing on Wednesday as well. So with that, guys, I will see you Wednesday at 6 p.m. That is our next live. I'm either going to be doing another criminal case that I want to cover, or I might be doing Human Trafficking 101, and I had one other thing on my calendar. It's one of those. So I will be doing something. I hope you guys can join us. I'll get the thumbnail up just as soon as possible, probably tomorrow, because I don't know what my training is going to be like next week. I think I'm in training all week and I have no idea. So I may be kind of working up against the wire on Wednesday for the live. So we'll just have to see. Audrey, I'm glad you caught this as well. And just so glad you were here. So glad that you had a great time. Um, with that, I'll just say, remember, you guys are worthy. You are valuable and you are loved just the way you are for who you are. So hugs and love from me. I will see you guys Wednesday at 6 p.m. Surviving together, never alone. Ciao.
Through the fire, through the rain, we have walked through endless pain, but we stand, we rise again, stronger now, we break the chain, surviving together, hearts open wide, lifting each other through every tide. The past may have shaped us, but it won't define. Together we heal, together we shine. Every tear, every scar tells the story of who we are. Not just survivors, but warriors too. With love as our armor, we see the We see you, we hear